Hey guys, Sandro here from Carcraft Auto Detailing in Melbourne. Today's video, which is yet another update on CarPro Gliss, is a little overdue as I did intend to do this video quite a while back. But due to a couple of things, such as the increasing video footage I've been trying to edit and get through, as well as work just becoming increasingly busy, it just got put on the back burner for a while. But the other reason this video was put on hold was mainly due to the fact that there was still a few questions and issues I was trying to resolve with this product in achieving the consistency and longevity that Gliss was claimed to have. So rather than just report back that it hasn't worked well, I decided to set aside a bit of time over the last few months to try and get to the bottom of why my results were inconsistent and short-lived. After further testing and now having applied Gliss to quite a few cars, I finally have what I feel is some great information on this product that will hopefully help out anyone intending on using it. For those of you that have seen my first two videos on Gliss, you'll know that I applied it to this Alfa Giulietta QV almost 6 months ago now, and it was applied over CarPro Essence Plus, which isn't recommended by the manufacturer. And you'll also know that I used a test panel where I applied Gliss in 4 sections over CarPro Essence, Essence Plus, C-Quartz UK and over bare paint. The main goal was to see whether Gliss would perform differently or be more or less durable over these 4 different surfaces. Now I'll start by saying that my technique with using Gliss has actually changed or been tweaked a bit, which I'll get into shortly. But as far as seeing a difference in performance of durability from applying Gliss to bare paint, over a ceramic coating or over an existing sealant, I honestly didn't observe any difference whatsoever. In all cases, Gliss started looking and behaving equally fantastic. But in as little as a month or two, it had diminished its fantastic look and water behaviour quite dramatically. And within 2 to 3 months, it was all but gone, but at equal rates on all of the sections and surfaces I had applied it to. But interestingly enough, even though Gliss itself seemed to be gone or diminished, in the cases where it was applied over a coating or over essence, the base coating or sealant was still not behaving well at all, even when Gliss was supposedly gone. So in other words, with Gliss diminished, the coating or sealant underneath should still be fine and display great water behaviour in theory. However, this was not the case, as once Gliss stopped working, the water behaviour on the paint was poor regardless of whether it was applied to bare paint or over a coating or sealant. Now what this suggests is that although Gliss was no longer reacting and behaving great, it was still present on the paint, as it was inhibiting the coating or sealant underneath from working and behaving as it should be. So to put this theory to the test, I decided to give the Giulietta a decontamination wash, and I then followed up with both iron and tar removal chemicals. And the water behaviour was restored and the C-Quartz coating underneath instantly came alive. Basically proving in this circumstance that even though Gliss had diminished its great look and behaviour, it was still present on the paint, and needed to be stripped off to reveal the coating underneath that was still going strong. Now, it's just been 3 months since I reapplied Gliss using a slightly different technique, and as you can hopefully see, it's holding up much better. Now, from what I've experienced, 6 months durability is really more what you should expect, at least in my neck of the woods, on a car that lives outside, which is actually better than most sealants. And I'll just reinforce that this is an example of Gliss at its half-life point, and if you want to see how it looks initially, check out the first 2 videos on this series. So hopefully that answers a few questions and queries that I know a few of you have been asking me, and I also know that a few local detailers have been having the same issues and concerns. The other question that I know a lot of you are interested in is whether it works over CarPro Essence Plus. What I found is that it does, especially if you alter your technique, which I'll get into now. But at the same time, I know there are reasons why CarPro don't recommend it, and it's always a good idea for most to follow those recommendations. In almost all circumstances, if you want any paint protection product to last the longest, you should apply it to bare paint. A coating would be the next best thing, and a sealant would again be a step down. However, it doesn't mean that you can't do it, or that it won't work. CarPro just wants you to have the best experience with this product, which is completely understandable. The second part of this video is about what I've discovered about Gliss in relation to correctly applying it and increasing its durability closer to what CarPro suggests. Now for those of you out there that have seen the video series I did on the Giulietto QV, you'll know how I explained in that series that C-Quartz UK is perhaps the most incorrectly used coating on the market. But once you understand how to correctly apply it, it's actually such an easy and fantastic coating to work with. But the issue is all the misinformation out there that leads people in the wrong direction. In all honesty, I should have waited a little longer once I had some more experience with Gliss to put out these videos, as I've discovered it can really be more of a finicky product to work with. But at the same time, the learning process just never ends, and as I've stated in many of my more recent videos, I've been trying to share that learning and testing phase with all you guys and just be a little more open with the whole process and detailing journey. Firstly, if you do want a more step-by-step explanation of how to apply Gliss, have a look at my first two videos of Gliss, as the only real difference in the application technique here that I've discovered is to just stick to one single row of passes when applying Gliss. So in other words, don't cross-hatch the applicator block. Now, I did mention in the first two videos that Gliss flashes really quick, and you should do no more than one set of vertical and horizontal overlapping lines. But what I've found in the last few months is that just sticking to one set of either horizontal or vertical overlapping lines is by far a better technique that will give you longer durability and better results, especially when using Gliss in warmer climates. The issue comes back to Gliss's rapid flashing and curing times. So what I found was happening when I was cross-hatching the application was that the carrier solvents in Gliss, together with its instant flash cycle, was actually removing the first application and leaving a far thinner coat of Gliss on the paint. So unlike more standard or true nano coatings, where going over the application with a few crisscross overlapping sets of passes actually aids the coating in flashing and leveling it down, with Gliss it actually hurts the finish and compromises its longevity and integrity. So in the end, what you're actually left with is a thinner and more inconsistent application that'll lose its great look and behaviour quite quickly. Now, it was actually just approaching summer here in Melbourne when I first tried Gliss, and it's now just approaching winter about 6 months later. The truth is that it's easier to apply in cooler weather, and you need to actually give it 2 to 3 minutes in the colder weather before leveling it down with your cloth. So compared to the summer weather, where it was instantly flashing and chalking up, the cooler weather actually rectified that issue, and it was almost like working with a completely different product. Now, almost all detailing products are temperature sensitive, but I found Gliss to be extremely sensitive compared to other sealants and coatings. I do know that there are plenty of guys out there that have used Gliss with no issues and fantastic results. Though I also know there's an equal amount of both consumers and professionals that have had these same issues as me. And the truth is that if you just apply Gliss to a car and never see it again, even though it looked and behaved fantastic to start with, it may be a different story a couple of months down the track if the application wasn't spot on. In any case, I hope this update helps some of you out there that may have struggled with Gliss or just had some more questions about it. I'll also let you know that although it's only been 2 to 3 months since I've been using this new technique, the results are already far better on the cars I've applied it to, showing much better water behaviour and durability already. In the end, every product is different, and some just take a little more understanding than others to get it right. Gliss truly is one of the most hydrophobic and slick sealants on the market, so from my point of view, it was really nice to finally understand why it wasn't performing as well as I'd hoped, and really satisfying to finally solve that issue. Also, for those of you that have been following the Alfa Giulietto QV, this is now 15 months since it was corrected and coated, and as you can hopefully see, she's doing very well. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed and found this video useful. Please like, comment and subscribe to this channel to show your support for these videos, and I'll see you in the next one.